Greetings, YouTube. Once again, happy Sunday. Happy start to Dungeon Days. I know that since it is Summoner Appreciation Months, in plural, sometimes it's exciting when you see that green rectangle around your name because it means a boost is active. However, it's a little bummer if you don't care about dungeons, for example, and you see that it's really just the Dungeon Days points booster and not what so many people have been asking for, which is what used to be the case, and that's the boost to things like gold and battle chips, which we still have not really seen a definitive announcement as to whether or not that's coming back. So stay tuned, I suppose, for that. But in the meantime, we have seen, to kick off this Dungeon Day, a Whale Day. Because Sunday, a day that really used to be a day you could count on having no offer whatsoever to review. They just took the day off, the day of rest for Kabam's Canadian offers. And now it's sort of become a day that not only do they have offers, but they have offers that are micro-targeted to the most highest spenders. And given that some of the biggest spenders are potentially walking away from the game and no longer looking to give Kabam their money, it looks as though they're probably going to be doing these deals more and more to try to get people who need the two rarest items in the game, Tier 5 Basic Catalyst Fragments and Tier 2 Alpha Catalysts, incentive to not only purchase the first tier, but do something that, again, is going to become more and more common, and that's purchasing other tiers to try to get themselves their hands on the rarest of rare items in the game, the Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystals, which are, at this point, the only way to have a chance to take a 6-star to rank 3. There is a separate discussion for a separate day about what it would be like in terms of the trajectory of the game to actually have a chance to max your 6 stars. I don't think that's going to happen realistically for anybody for the next 3 to 5 years, and part of that's because Kabam wants to make sure their game is around for 3 to 5 years, and so if they advance the progression too fast of 6 stars, then they're going to have to do something like come up with 7 stars, and that is going to give people an incentive to leave the community, just like when 6 stars were announced, people left who just didn't want to start over and felt like their 5-star roster should be enough. So let's go to the both tiers. I guess we'll start visually with this first tier because it's as advertised, I guess. It's the retail price for both of these items. For 1,500 units, which is a little bit more, or 50 units more than $50 worth of units get you. It's 6,750 Tier 5 Basic Catalyst Fragments, which is about now what we have seen for the price tag of that. And a Tier 2 Alpha is also $50 worth of units. Now, remember, it was just 24 hours ago that we talked about how if you got all 3 tiers of the Odin price tag, the $100 American at least, worth of the Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst bundles, you essentially got 3 Tier 2 Alphas for $100 or $33 a piece. Now, I still think that is slightly higher than I would like to see in the game. I still would like to see Tier 2 Alphas at $25 because then you could get 4 of them, or how many you need to take a 5-star to rank 4 for $100, and $100 is still a huge amount of money. It makes my skin crawl to think that we have been so desensitized in some corners of this community that somebody can casually say, oh, just throw an Odin at it and you'll be fine. And that means just spend $100, and $100 is still a heck of a lot of money to a lot of people. And I don't want to ever discount that understatement by ignoring it or downplaying it when I review an offer on my channel. But of course, this is the first of 2 tiers because this is a C grade. This is exactly the retail price that I would expect for $50 worth of units in 2019. Not better and not worse. It is average, and I am not going to change my opinion of that until it gets better. By the way, also, if you haven't seen this offer, you're obviously not uncollected because you have to at least beat the collector once, which is completing initially 1 full path of Act 5, Chapter 2, and be above level 40, or at level 40, I should say, or above. Now, the second tier, suddenly you get to spend 3,500 units, which now you're getting into the almost $200 worth of units territory. And for that price tag, you get 13,500 Tier 5 Basic Catalyst fragments. When you add both of those together, you do get 20,250 Tier 5 Basic Catalyst fragments, which is not quite, but almost half of a Tier 5 Basic Catalyst. I don't understand for the life of me why these deals don't just add up to at least 22,500 Tier 5 Basic, because that's exactly half of one Tier 5 Basic, but for whatever reason, they feel like they're just going to shortchange you a little bit. And then you also get 2 additional Tier 2 Alphas, I think for almost $200, given that we saw just 24 hours ago. And I get this is units, so technically free-to-play players can do this, and they are, just hoarding units to keep Kabam Mike up at night. So because they aren't technically having to give Kabam their money, they're going to make this a little worse of a deal. But if you can get 3 Tier 2 Alphas for $100, you should be able to get 4 Tier 2 Alphas for $200. I don't think that is too unreasonable. So the Tier 2 Alpha part of this is pretty underwhelming, to say the least. But you also get 2% Tier 5 class Catalyst Fragment Crystals, which, again, 2, even if you get the same class that you're targeting, that's only 4% of a Tier 5 class Catalyst. It just makes the price tag of a rank 3 6-star continue to be higher than the price of most first-time cars for people, or certainly more than somebody would pay in a month worth of rent. It is the price tag that just makes this game more and more expensive for the average player, which is why I rarely, if ever, give any of these kind of offers higher than a C grade, because they're simply not worth your money. This is for the people who have so much disposable income that they spend thousands on this game a month, and a couple $100 worth of units to get this is like asking somebody to pay $1 for a football helmet at a restaurant. Weird analogy? You better believe it. I had a random dream last night. I was at a Pizza Hut in 1996 and was playing Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate, which used to be my favorite game at Pizza Hut. Random tangent, but I guess I have that on my brain when I woke up. Regardless, I think this entire thing is just an average whale bundle. The second tier needs to have 3 Tier 2 Alphas in it. It needs to have at least 5 2% Tier 5 class Catalyst Fragment Crystals, and between the two of them, they need to add up to just a little bit more than they are to guarantee half of a Tier 5 Basic. But I know that money is no object for the people who go after these, because they are just looking to make their Tier 5 Basic, their Tier 2 Alpha, and their Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystal opportunity even bigger. They'll pay anything, and Kabam knows that. But for the summoners, that money very much is an object to you, because you've got, bills to pay, and if you spend hundreds of dollars on a mobile video game, it takes away from your chance to meet your basic needs. This is not a Tier 5 Basic idea for you, quite literally. It's just an average deal for the whales, the Shamus of the whales even, and Sunday looks to be that for many people. However, I would encourage you, if you are looking to take advantage of something today, to think about doing the Dungeon Day, as we have seen new milestones added for basically what people do every time dungeons are around anyway. Everything from completing, say, room 3 of at least Dungeon 6 and beyond. So I plan on doing this, of course, with my dungeon buddy, Miss Katie Candy, at some point soon. And I also look forward to trying to see if anybody enjoys this rare event of Dungeon Days. Until next time, YouTube, have a good one. Remember, these are just very average C-grade offers for the highest of spenders. Don't feel bad if you can't get these. There will be other offers that are much better coming around the contest. You just got to be patient. And for all the haters out there who say, you just find any way to stretch your videos to 10 minutes, you know what? We're at 9:30 and we are done.